Good morning, friends. Today I'm going to be going through and looking at all of my peppers, but most importantly, we're going to up pot my baby shishito. So this is part of my single seed challenge, and I've brought this up a couple times. If this is the first time watching, you can go to hashtag single seed challenge 2023 to see other people on social media also doing the same challenge. I believe it's across YouTube and on Instagram. But the premise of this is to take one baby seed, just one, you don't get to plant multiple, one seed, and to plant it and water it, take care of it, see it grow into a baby, up pot it, take care of it for its whole life, harvest off of it, and watch that life cycle from a seed all the way to something that you harvest and take into your kitchen, and just to watch that life cycle. So this is a shishito pepper that I chose. You can choose any kind of seed that you want. You can do this now. Join this. Plant yourself a seed. Tag it hashtag single seed challenge 2023 and join the rest of us and watch everybody else's plants grow through the season. It is ready to be up potted. Right now it's just in a 2-inch cup, which has been great for it to get started. But now that it's got some true leaves there, I'm going to go ahead and give it a bigger home. Okay, this is the pot I've got to transfer it into for now because it still has to live inside and I don't want to up pot it again. Oops, sorry, I'm not doing that very good. This is probably a, I don't know, 5 or 6 inch pot. It's just a clay pot. I've put some soil in here and already pre-moistened it, and I'm going to make just a big hole in the middle here. Because what I want to do is I want to take him right out of here intact and set him right in there so I don't disturb the roots any more than I have to. So I'm going to keep my single seed challenge tagger, and then I'm just going to squish these sides a little bit and very gently tap the bottom and dump it into my hand. And see how it's kind of holding its form here on the bottom? I want to try and take that whole thing and tip it right down into here. Press down on the soil around it, not the roots, not the stem, and then just kind of get myself centered. Make sure that's up nice and tight. Ta-da! Okay, here she is. She has tons and tons and tons of room to grow. And that's kind of one of my goals. I don't want to have to keep up potting her and messing with her roots, but I know she is going to be in this house for a long time. And I don't want to, like I said, disturb those roots, play with her. So I'm giving her her own big container because she is my single seed challenge baby. So I'm gonna give her a little bit of fertilizer, just to make sure she doesn't have any kind of transplant shock, and put her in with other plants. When you are up potting things like this, and this goes for pretty much any kind of transplant that you're gonna up pot, it's really important to try and disturb them the least amount possible. So that means not transplanting them too early. If you saw when I went to transplant that shishito pepper, that base had held its shape. If she wasn't ready yet, then that would have crumbled and I just got a stem with dangly roots. I want to wait until those roots have kind of worked their way around the soil and made, you guys notice I talk with my hands a lot? I want to wait for that soil and those roots to work together to make their own little kind of cup. So when I pull that out, I don't want it root bound, which means the roots circle around each other, but I do want them all the way through, coming out the bottom, making sure that it holds its shape. And then all I'm going to do is very carefully slide it out, slide it into its new home, and kind of press the soil in around that soil cup. Does that make sense? So that's pretty much for anything that you up pot. And there are things that don't like you to up pot them. I do not mess with the roots of cucumbers. I don't mess with the roots of squashes or melons. Those I just direct seed outside. I have tried it and they didn't like it. People say sunflowers don't like the roots messed with, but I have done sunflowers from seed and they do okay. Not any faster than the ones I put out from direct seed, but all right, let's check out the rest of the peppers because they have been so slow going and I'm getting so anxious. Okay, we're going to start with this first tray. I think we can go ahead and say the nata peños are an unqualified success. They all did very well. I've got plenty of them for what I need. And they were this year's seed. It was brand new seed. It did really well. My jalapeno, on the other hand, I think the seed was 2 years old, so I did sow I sold about a third more than the other jalapenos, and they're coming up pretty slow. So looks like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 up out of 36, which is not awesome, but I can use jalapenos for my needs. So I'm just going to check and see who wanted jalapenos from me, and I might have to do another round of these, or I might just leave them be. Poblanos are up. I only need a couple of those. Tequila Sunrise, nothing yet. This next tray behind it, I have got several. I have several peppers up that are no name. I just keep rolling with it. They're gonna be all right. Here's my Polish section. These 4 are all Polish peppers. The Etietta, I've got 1 of those up. I've got 1 Ruia up. And I've got 1 Zulu up right there. Nocturne, I got none. But I did just do a video short on YouTube where I am germinating some more of these nocturne seeds to see what I can get. Back in the back there, I've got fish peppers that are coming up. Sugar Rush Peach in front of them. And then my cayenne are doing really well. They do have some purpling on their leaves that could be from a deficiency, but since I am fertilizing them, I'm going to assume they're pretty much okay and leave them alone. I'm not going to mess with them. They'll be outside soon enough. Okay, the third rack is banana peppers, which are probably the largest ones I have. They're doing really well. I've got several sets of leaves here, and they are my favorite one to grow. If I could only grow 1 pepper, it would be banana peppers. Everyone in my house likes them. Let's try and get around these guys here. Let's do it this way. I've got a couple of these ones from Haas Tools, the Giallo and the Rosso. Purple Marconis are a bust so far, which bums me out because they were last year too. I have a couple Carmen, several pepperoncinis that are actually looking really, really healthy. A couple Gypsies. The Pippin's Golden Honey finally have germinated, and it looks like the Jimmy Nardellos are just starting to. There's another one. So I'm not going to give up hope on those ones that haven't yet, but... And then I got one more tray down here. My very first Orange Sun just came up, which this is funny. I didn't think this one was going to take that long. It is a bell pepper, which can take a little bit longer, but it's not normally that long. So it might have been the seed. King of the North, I've got 1 of those, 2 of those, 3 King of the North. This is that bell pepper that's good for northern climates. I really enjoyed that one last year. I've got some lilac bells coming up. Next to them, the shishitos are doing great. They've got their true leaves coming up already. I will have plenty of shishitos for the year. And then right there's 2, and then both of the ones in the end, California Wonders, and those are from my mommy. So they're bell peppers too. So the peppers are doing much better. All of them seem to be taking off at least a little now, and I can breathe a little bit easier.